Welcome to the Overdrive, with Davey, the most electrifying, impartial, educational, and entertaining show on radio. The Overdrive with Davey on Freedom 106.5 FM. Speak your mind.
Once again, good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Just about 30 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock, we smack dead in the middle of the hour. And the much anticipated, we've been talking about it for over a week now. It has been in the pipeline to get KG in studios. Good afternoon, good sir.
Yeah, man. Good day.
Blessings. I know there's not the urban vibes that you're accustomed to, but this is some serious conversations we are having here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's tell the people who you are to begin with, and how long you've been doing this music.
Well, for the ones who don't know, my name is KG. People will know me for being a producer, a filmmaker, even an artist. I came into the industry as an artist at a young age, and then throughout different phases of my life, I started to realize that the younger side of the industry didn't have infrastructure. Basically, we didn't have people that was lending a hand. It was almost impossible to really, as we say in Trinidad, apply in the industry if you wasn't rubbing shoulders with certain people. And that was something I always noticed. And as I got older, I started to just dib and dab in different fields, like the production aspect of it. I built my studio, started to buy camera equipment, and I just started to help youths in the area, youths in the inner cities, shoot the videos for them for free, do productions for them for free, and through that we create what we call today Trinibad.
Oh, so that is where it started.
Yeah.
This is the gentleman you was telling me about last year.
Yeah.
I remember last year you and I and my brother had a conversation, and he did tell me about you.
Yeah.
I think you pull up right by the same place where you was, when the same business, by the AC place. You came there.
Right.
So it's good to have you in the studio with me, man. I remember the face now as I going back. It was a little BM you pull up in too.
A Benz.
I come in with a little van, he come up in a Benz. Yeah, I remember.
Right.
Well, welcome to Freedom Studios, man. Welcome to the big show. Now, here's the thing, I am one that has spoke openly against Trinidad music. I have spoken openly, not in a sense of, I don't like the man behind the music.
Right.
I'm thinking that the music that is being placed out there for the youth to listen to is one that is perpetrating and purporting violence and drugs and guns.
Right, yeah.
and what we call hoes and women.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I mean, we have one or two artists that would have given us some positive music.
Positive vibes,
but for some reason, the Trinidad music went down a different road.
Yeah.
Now, you producing music and also doing videos. How have it been? How were you able to work for both sides of the fences, so to speak? If you did at all, I don't know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you give respect to get respect, and I think everybody looking in, when you're looking at the crime and you're looking at all these things, you will just assume that these people are monsters. Like if you just watch the news or you just listen to, what the media is saying, you will believe that these men are just horrible people and all they do is kill and da-da-da-da-da. But my experience being in the inner cities and being around, certain elements, first one thing, the same principle of life is the same principle there. You give respect to get respect. And me being in these areas and doing work with the youths, and I mean people seeing that I come in out of where I from to come into these areas to help the youths. That is all I just do when I come into these areas. I just come with my camera, I just come with my music equipment, and we working and we trying to do something productive. So I mean the people in the areas been seeing KG around because I've been around for years, almost for years I've been doing this now. So people know KG is a man of respect, he's a man of principle, and all I really stand for is music and entertainment and pushing the entertainment industry in Trinidad further.
Would you say, as an influencer, a person that is coming with such positivity to the youths, that you can do anything to get them to change the style or the lyrical content of their music? Because what I come to realize within recent times is that the musical warfare started, and persons tend to want to act out on these warfare.
Yeah.
So what would have been a friendly rival, let's say many years ago, between Sugar Aloes and Baron, or Lord Kitchen and Sparrow, a little peacock in the calypso, where we throw in talk for each other, but it stays right there.
It stays there, yeah.
In the art form.
Yeah.
We seeing the blood being spewed on the streets. Now you mentioned that these people are not monsters.
Yeah.
Now, in your respective opinion, how do we convince Trinidad and Tobago that these individuals that we are seeing committing these heinous crimes are not monsters? How do we convince them of this?
Alright, so when I say there's no monsters, it's not like a picking up for the negativity that going on in the country. Because I mean, we can all see what's going on. Murders every day, the thing not looking good. And it's really peace we want, you know. But at the same time, what I really want the people to understand, well, some people understand it and some people don't, is a bigger problem than what we just talking about, you know.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
So we just want to talk about them youth men and them singing bad man music, or we just want to talk about men shooting people, but we ain't talking about what's going on behind the scenes that creating these things now. That is what we really should be talking about.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that.
You know?
A few months ago, I had a gentleman on the program that had, did a little stint in prison.
Yeah.
And it's something that he shared with me that made my paws raise.
Yeah.
He says, when we come out here, he said, I tell him I was in my thing.
Yeah.
Right? But when I studying, mommy don't have.
Right.
He said everybody's saying that you're blaming mothers and mothers are to be blamed.
Yeah.
But here's the spin that he mentioned to me that you're alluding to, the story behind the story. Mommy have her own problems. Mommy have me and my siblings to take care of.
Yeah.
Mommy had a man who was coming around. The man hold mommy got the man hitting my mother. He ride out and she don't know where the next meal coming from. Mommy sit down home stressed out. So even though she want to look after us, she can't really look after because she has her own thing going on.
And I mean to cut you, but
no, go ahead.
it just amazed me to see how oblivious some people could be towards the situation of what is the ghetto and what it consists of now. You know, like, people would always say things like, you know, like certain men would tell me, but I grew up in the ghetto and I come out good. You know, I didn't go down that wrong road, KG, so that is not a excuse. But at the same time, we still have to remember what is the ghetto and what it consists of. It consists of, how to put it, it's a place where the government forget about. People forget about it. People try to ignore it. People try to chastise it. People try to stay away from it. And over the years, it became worse and worse and worse and worse. So what we're seeing today is really the outcome of what was going on for so many years now. And that is the part that I don't agree with. Like, people, I in the Trinidad industry, so I had to deal with the backlash, you know, like when a Trinidad artist get shoot and when this happen and that happen, but I are wrong these people. And when you hear the story and you hear where they come from and things that I had to go through, sometimes you and all that had to ask yourself, how I would I be if I went through them circumstances.
One of the things that I found very interesting, KJ, I saw a video this afternoon, and I was really excited for you and this gentleman to come through, where a question was asked of a youth in an area. Of course, all faces were, everybody remain anonymous, which I have no problem with. I protect people's identity. But the thing is, he asked him, when did this war start? Because we see in a road, a mere street, that between you and I, where one car could pass, and that is a boundary, right? And the gentleman who saying that nobody can come down here and disrespect, and we ain't going there. So we in the zone here, and we protecting we youths here, because them youths are thing. He don't even know how the war started. He just in the war. He said the man who was supposed to answer that question dead about 3-4 years ago. That was the US real boss. He could have given the explanation. So what I am forced to believe now, KJ, is that these youths, I don't want to say headless chicken, but they are in an environment, in a warfare, that they themselves probably don't even understand why.
That is all you know. And another thing with ghetto youths too, that I noticed now being around them, they really don't know nothing, you know. Like, you will carry a ghetto youth on the avenue, and that will light up their eyes, you know. And that does amaze me to see, like, he don't even know it's the avenue.
Bro.
The avenue come like America for he.
Bro, I bring a man in the studio here.
Yeah.
And the man, I mean, we have 6 radio stations as part of Guardian Media. This is just one faction. And he was like, You know, he saw Slam Studios.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't believe it, all these things in
because
Trinidad.
he listening to Slam Home.
Yeah.
He listening, you know,
Yeah.
your neighbors listening to Vibe City 105 and other of our sister stations here. And I gave him a little tour, you know, to take a look at this. I'm a Porsche race KG because I felt good. Now, these are you that made a positive. He did go down a bad road, pull gun for people, you know. He explained that when he get up in the morning and mommy have nothing, and he come downstairs from the area he is living in, and I fell on the block saying, hey, what you seen, youth man, come through now, you want something, or where are they? He said, when I get $20 and I give mommy $10, I don't know what to do the next 10. I come with my partner and we buy 2 biscuits and 2 classic cola and we drinking that, and it's like we have change, you know. So what I fell in love with is what you just said. The avenue is New York.
Correct. They don't know better. So all they know is what they see. Some of us were lucky to experience certain things at certain age. Like for me as a youth, my mother used to have me in a little football club, you know, little summer camp. So I would have meet different people growing up in the life, you know, but these youths never had that. So all they know is what they see. And when they wake up in the morning, all they see is crime, guns, drugs. So obviously that's what they're going to do.
Now, my thing about it is, you mentioned something that touched me there dearly. You talk about how do we get the government to pay attention to these areas. Now, I don't know how long I have here.
No.
I can get you in the next hour a little bit after the news. Right, because I want to talk about the Trinidad music, but I want to deal with this aspect first. We have about 19 minutes before the news. So, what are some of your thought processes in terms of getting government's attention, the MPs, the ministers for the area, to come back and revisit? Because we had a show yesterday and the persons were saying that if the government is empowering these gang leaders, community activists and community leaders with contracts and so forth, we are actually fueling these men to arm themselves.
Right.
And for me, it's like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I try everything.
Why you don't understand?
I don't understand, first to begin with, how one man just be feared in that area. How one man, it's like, let me give you the story. I'll give you a little snippet here.
Yeah.
This man is a shooter.
Right.
He's a shooter.
Right.
So Paul is a shooter for whatever gang, for the TV gang. Paul shooting for the TV gang,
Right.
and Ricardo shooting for Radio Men. Just saying, right?
Right.
But I going out there and I shooting. But when I come back in the camp, I had to go down in my fetal position because I had to bow down. And I's a bad man. And fearing me out there. I can't understand. How?
Aye.
Help me.
So it's psychology, right? Other point, as in the boss is the boss. Even in your little friend group, is always have a man who had the most say. For some, whatever reason it is, he just have the most say because he is the most respected man in the little group all you have.
Okay.
Now, he's not your boss, you know, because all you're not gangsters. We're talking about your little friend group or your family, right?
Right.
So it might have an uncle or a certain grandfather. He is the man in the family. Nobody even know how he turned the man.
Yeah, that's it.
When he walk in the house,
everybody,
he is the man because
quiet.
of his characteristics, his mannerisms, certain things he might do, his strength, wherever it is certain things. So in these communities, it's the same thing. Just a little deeper, you know, but it's the same thing. And over the years now, people will grow. So it come like if me as a youth, people say, KG, use the boss because you making the moves. Use the man that had the intellectual ability to do this thing. My group will turn from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. From the time my group turned to about 30 people, everybody have to listen to me now because I have that strength. And then over the years, it becomes a brainwashing system because you know I is the boss. I could make the moves. So if you want to go more into that aspect what you're talking about, if you violate me, I have people that will take you out. Not one person, not 2 people, not 3 people. I have a whole street of people that will take you out. So you, even though you is a quote-unquote shooter too, you don't have that what I build over the years, which is me acquiring that
respect.
Yeah, you know, I is the man in the family.
I feel it.
It happened over years, and it didn't happen.
Because I was watching this movie. I don't know if you saw the movie called Power. I mean, you know Power.
Yeah. How you mean?
And, you know, Ghost is the connect.
Ghost is the man,
Ghost and Tommy Egan. I talked about it yesterday on the radio as well. And when you look at the connect between these gentlemen, they're not bringing the minions, so to speak, on the connect. You must never know. So is I feeding the masses. I feeding all them.
Yeah.
And I saw that
And that's the next thing too, you're feeding people. When you feeding people, when you as the person that making that decision to feed people, I know some of these community leaders who feeding families, groceries, children, and nothing. You could go to him and say, hey, I need this. He will give it. Out of the 100 and something men in the community, that is the man you know for years you could go by, and he would say yes. So how he not going and be the boss? Obviously, he will be the boss.
All right, I'm going to take a listen to this voice note.
Everything men of them who hold for the kidnapping this morning.
All right, so we get some footage here with some men. Thank you very much, Dexter. I thought it was something else. So, of course, you can call me and chime in on the conversation if you have a question for KG. We're going to talk Trinidad music as well in the next hour. But for now, we have to understand the birth of it and where it stemmed from and understand the community, because the walkthrough in the communities could be deadly for some, right? It could be dangerous. And why? Why is it that if me leave here now, KG, and I decide to walk through, let's say Belmont, why could it be deadly? Now, I have a couple calls coming through, so let me take a few calls. This conversation is very interesting. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I am calling from one of the areas where we are fearful of home invasions. We haven't had a whole lot, but we've had crime problems. And in some areas, we've gotten the news about what happened to people during home invasions and other criminals. I mean, we have cars, we have this, we have that, right? How, now we are hearing your problems and your issues and whatnot. How is that supposed to impact someone when one of these good folks that you're speaking of, that is seeing all this trouble, ends up inside your house, attempting to rob and brutalize and commit all kinds of mayhem? How are we supposed to sympathize with your situation at that moment? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, caller. You want to chime in on that? You want to try? I know you can't answer to that.
No, I can't. Correct. I am not a criminal.
You're not, so you can't speak to it.
And two, when I speak a certain way, I don't wanna, get confused. When I speak a certain way, I don't speak from a point where I am defending criminals or defending thieves or defending people that killing people. No.
And I'm happy you said that.
No.
Happy that you said
We don't
that.
defend them thing no time, but we defend the misunderstood youth or the misunderstood man or woman from Trinidad and Tobago. We cannot ignore that there's a group of people in Trinidad and Tobago that going through some real problems. And some of them might make mistakes because of these problems. If you cannot feed your children, just think about that. You are 3-4 children and you cannot feed your children. You have no money. You trying your best to get a job, cannot get a job. All these different things going on. What are you going to do? Ask yourself these questions.
Good afternoon.
You don't know.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You see, some people could never understand that. You see that simple example. Take a man from here and came down on the avenue. I had that experience. And I was amazed. What you would be amazed to see how I said, oh wait, we ain't going nowhere. And I chucked back down and then I heard the ministry decided to give them some kind of toy in a particular school. And I was amazed to realize, but wait, this is Trinidad. But because of mommy could probably only afford to send you to school and how far the school is from the community. So all you see every day is these pretty men that the boss have that run the community. You have no other role models. So in the video, the man asks two of them, an adult and a young man, where you want to be? I want to be rich. And how you feel this concept and idea of getting rich is because of what he sees in the environment.
Correct.
Because parents can't afford to take him to movie town. So if he got data on the phone, all he sees all he sees on the phone. He doesn't leave the community for months. His entire existence on it till he's 17 or 18 is more or less within that one particular environment. Depends on the school he pass for.
Yes, for real. That's how real it is.
So how do we change that?
How do we change that?
We change that by exposing the school environment to something that you could be a NASA space. You understand what I'm saying? Open up their minds to dream, and you know we could do that is to take them out from that environment and expose them to something.
I can say something. I can say something really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Chime in. Thanks very much, caller. Appreciate
I
it.
want to say something really quick. He say, the only way to stop that is to expose them to something new. A lot of these youths never really see nothing, basically, right? Trinidad industry is the first thing in years in this country that take ghetto youth from the block and put them somewhere to do something that they could literally make a real living off of. I see youths like Prince Swani, Jalano, I could call so much, come from the ground. Dollar in the pocket, ashy ankles, the full works, to doing this thing on a high level. Big up Prince Swani, big up the whole Trinidad industry.
But then, I don't want to talk that Trinidad yet, eh?
No, I just
saying.
I just saying.
You touch on something that I had to ask you a question, but let me take a call. The line's busy. Good afternoon. Yeah, KG.
First of all, let me say that in answer to questions from the media about the police not being able to handle crime efficiently, the Prime Minister stated that as far as the police got paid last month. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, there's a social development ministry. And that ministry deals with the social ills of the country. Right? And now I'm going to make my point. I am going to say under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, no amount of poverty or richness should cause another Trinidad and Tobago citizen to invade, rape, murder, demean, whatever you want, another Trinidadian citizen. No amount of poverty gives you the right to do that. See, according to the Prime Minister, there's a ministry, social development ministry, that deals with poverty and social ills. It does not give you the right, because you fall in that category, to invade another person's privacy, capital privacy.
All right, thanks very much, caller. Appreciate your thoughts. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Davy, and to your special guest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And special good afternoon to you, sir. A caller just call and say, if someone who is a single woman and she has 4 children and she has nothing to do, what should she do? You live in a community and you can go around. You're not begging. You're just asking to know, do you all have anything so someone can come and assist you in whatever you have? If not, I don't mind if you can give me a little handout. And there's ways and means of doing things. Instead of you going and stealing. Because when you go to steal, remember you have 4 children behind you. What will become of the children when the police catch you red-handed? So people, there is many other things besides social welfare handout. And everything will take time when you go to social welfare. And there is ways and means of doing things. And if you take 2 hours to walk in your community and assist, I sure you'll go back home with something in your hand to give your children. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your call. So, KG, you're realizing how this topic, and people was anticipating your arrival there. Hello, good afternoon.
If everybody is in the community have this problem about nobody can help nobody, and like we have a walk that we went to. And it was throwing my son and did my walk at the then I don't know. So I crazy up. That is why there was an intervention by Mr. Manning years ago. When I had a conversation with the said men at one time who would be considered community leaders or gangsters to find out how could we solve this problem. And there was the Manning meeting. How are we to solve this problem and can't even understand the different conversation that we are having.
Deeper than that, man.
No, this is the citizens' of Trinidad and Tobago, among many others.
Yeah.
The concerns when it comes to Trinidad music,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about it in the next hour right after the newscast, because a lot of things came out that you mentioned in the last few minutes that
Yeah.
I hold dear to me. These people see the avenue for the first time.
Yeah.
Some of them, they wear the nice chain,
Yeah.
the nice sneakers, the brand name clothing, but they're only walking through the streets
Yeah.
in the community.
Yep.
They know all the shops.
Yep.
And they can't come out.
Yeah.
I watching the interview. People sending me images from this
Yeah,
interview,
yeah.
from this recent interview about 2 days ago. I see it on social media. People sending me snippets of it in Belmont.
Right.
That interview in Belmont.
Mhm.
All right, and we seeing it Rifle Hill or something they
Yeah,
call it.
Rifle
We
Hill.
seeing these snippets and the interviews, and I'm looking at these people, and I'm wondering if it's a hopeless case or a lost cause with these youths in those areas.
Yeah.
Now, KG, you have been around them. You have been producing music. Quickly before the newscast, tell me your thoughts when you get there with your cameras
Yeah.
and you have to listen to some of the lyrical content. How do you feel personally about it, and do you and do you give a friendly word in terms of changing it?
Yeah, I mean, well, me growing up as a youth, I listened to all different types of music, you know. I listened to Bob Marley, to Tupac, to 50 Cent, to Marshall Montano, to Sparrow, to... It don't matter, like, I was just listening to good music, basically, you know, violent music. I was watching violent movies. I was watching comedy
Scarface.
movies. I was watching all different
All
types
different
of
types,
movies.
yeah.
So I was just into entertainment. And in the Trinidad industry, yes, it have a lot of violent music, but also have a lot of positive music too. It have a lot of music where they're singing about their life. It have a lot of girl tune, you know, it have a lot of different songs. But obviously in the entertainment world, the negativity always, you know, now, as you say, power. We love power. We love ghosts, you know, we love Scarface, we love Fast and Furious, men tiffin cars. You know, we love action, and Trinidad is like action music. So obviously the youths and them gravitate towards it.
No,
And you know,
no. Here's the thing for me, and I mean, we'll talk more deeper into the next hour. I like what you say. It's action.
Yeah, it's action.
We
it's
understand
action.
that when we watching Scarface,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
watch Scarface with
Come
Al
on.
Pacino, we
Yeah.
recognize it's a movie. We
Correct.
watch Fast and Furious,
Correct.
we like the action, the thief in cars,
Yeah.
pace. That movie is
We-
pace.
we like that.
You know, we watch some rom-coms. We watching different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
We listen to different, and I like your vibe, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
line, I really like your vibe. But when I hear you call certain artists there, you know,
Yeah,
you
come
would
on.
recognize that people listen to a
Yeah,
variety of
listen to
music.
all different things, yeah.
Then why is it
Yeah.
that plenty of our citizens in this country feel that the Trinidad artists are contributing? Now, this is a question I want you to think about, and we will talk about it in the next hour. Watch my time.
Yeah.
Why is it that they're thinking that the Trinidad artists, the musical content, continues to contribute to the escalating violence we see happening?
Yeah.
Why is it that these young men feel the need to act out what they're singing? Push back as hell, boss as Scott. I listen to some, you know, I can't play it. It's on the forum for it. But I listen to it. And I telling your partner, nah. But I've also heard people like Jelano, like your good self. I've heard the positives.
Yeah.
I've heard it. Folks, stick around. We take a break. The news is up next. Once again, good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. 8 minutes after the hour of 4 o'clock. Welcome back to the biggest show here on Freedom 106.5 FM. Davey Marie in your company alongside KG.
Yeah, man.
Trinidad artist, producer. Of course, this man is a screenwriter as well. I don't get that. This man filming miniseries in the country. I mean, I heard about him last year before Christmas. And I met him. Didn't recognize that 6 months later, he'd be sitting across from me in the studios on the show, having dialogue with us. And of course, when we leave here, I got to be calling you next week. We got to do some stuff. You know, let's talk a little bit now. I mean, I got a message here coming in from our texters. So texters, feel free to message me at 3061065. Davey, why are they saying that these communities lack opportunities and need government intervention when all the state resources and various ministry opportunities are available to them just like other communities in the country? In addition, these are the stronghold of this present administration. What about parent intervention? Why isn't parents parenting?
Right.
What are your thoughts? Now, before you answer that question with the Trinidad music, you said that there were some underlying problems that we needed to understand with these youths in the community, because you have rubbed shoulders with them. You know, so even though they're committing crimes or they're having guns, you as an artist who have had that inside look at with these men, you don't see that in them.
Right.
You see a different character in
Of
these
course,
individuals?
of course. I mean, nobody perfect. You know,
Right.
I have friends that never commit a crime in their life, but they are not good people. You know, they're not genuinely good people, and they never hold a gun in their life. So, I deal with all different walks of life. You know, and if there's one thing I know for sure, these youths that people try to portray, try to make it seem like they are all bad. They are not all bad. You know, some of them strong with me and admit that a lot of the things that they do are mistakes, or they thought they had no choice. People might be like, he always had a choice, but you can't tell a man what is a choice until you walk in his shoes. You know, so yeah, a lot of them have some sad stories behind them, and it's a sad situation, you know.
Watching your facial expression, and I could tell her.
Yeah. It's a sad situation.
I don't know. No,
it's so much deeper, you know.
When you wake up in the morning, and daddy is not there, your big brother not around, and you 13, 14, you look in the kitchen. It might have a kiss bread rest down half a loaf. You're watching your younger sister and brothers how to eat. What you go do?
As the person say, they have opportunities, you know, they could do this and go to the government for this, and some of these youths don't even know how to do a resume. You know, some of these youths don't even know how to stand up in a line, put on a shirt and a pants. I mean, some of them don't even have a shirt and a pants. You know, to go somewhere government-wise, you know, where look presentable. Some of them don't even know how to even have a proper conversation with a government official, you know, go to an embassy, go to a passport office. They just don't know. And we could just sit back and say, well, it's them fault. It has school for them. And okay, we hearing all you. But what next? They don't know how to do it. They don't have the parental guidance to teach them how to do it. The friends don't know how to do it. They're just in a dark hole. What we going to do? Wow. We need to lend our hand. Lend your hand.
But then, KG, I hearing here. I hearing here. And I'm thinking about how can we lend a hand to these youths?
Just lend a hand. So we all are victims. And I see it because I just rock back and observe society in Trinidad and Tobago. And every time we see a youth that look a certain way, pants must be under here. You know how it does go. You know the youth and them does look and do the thing, right? Instead of us trying to talk to them or ask them a question, or even the same way we all go out there and go in the grocery and see somebody and just pick a small talk with them. Pick a small talk with them too now. Show them some love too now. You know? We don't do that here. I just look at the youths and them who's wipe the car glass on the highways and wherever. On social media, I always see people bashing them. Okay, it's a one or two who pelt little water on a man here and there, but that means you're going to victimize every single youth that wipe a car glass. It have a lot of them who wiping car glass because they think that is all I could really do to stay out of trouble, to stay out of that mental depression. It's not just about crime. It's about mental. It's about mental health. You understand? Some people depressed. They're in dark places. They have PTSD, trauma. Come on, it's deeper than just, you know now.
You know, you make me feel bad. I sit down right here in the deep. And bash them people wash the car, and I'll tell you what.
Never.
KG here will get my vex. I'm coming down the highway.
Yeah.
And you ask me to wipe my glass. My car clean.
No.
You're watching my car. I don't wash my car. All my tires are roll. I do it so. The man still pass the thing and then nothing.
I say,
why you bullying me so?
Nothing. It's a culture. It's a culture of white glass men. You understand? They are poor people and they come out on the highway because where they are from, they don't know what to do. So they say, you know what? At least if we go out there, we could make a something. We not to snatch nobody chain. Because what is youth and them doing? So as I say, we could complain and say this and that, but we as the elders, we as the people that know better, how we go in and deal with it? You understand? How we go in and deal with it, because they deal with it how they choose to deal with it. They massing up, coming, running into all your houses, sticking all your teeth in all your car, all your complaining, all your calling in the radio stations, complaining. But what we go in and do, lend a hand. Stop ignoring the problem. It has so many youths out there that just want somebody to talk to, that just want somebody to help them. Help them with the resume, you know, help them with this, help them with that. If you know you can link them on a job, do it. Yes, it might have the one or two who might get the job and waste it. We know, I know what others say. But it have the ones that want the opportunity It have them. That is all they want, an opportunity. Let we lend a hand, man.
You know, you're mentioning that, and I'm thinking in a broader spectrum here, because I did tell you, I was one that sat on this program and was very much upset about some of these window wipers or window washers, because I now you see if I did pay to wash my car, I take my time and wash my own thing, and you come and dirty my glass with your thing, and I'm telling you, no, I'm stopping you, I say I wash already, but you still pass it and watching me. So you seen so there? Well, I get real vexed. And I had it out.
Yeah, what I
in
find,
my mind, we're doing my that for.
Yeah, what I find.
If you see my car clean, go to the next
no,
one.
it's understandable. No? Don't get me wrong. You know, I just laugh when I see sometimes too. But here, what I am a young man coming up in Trinidad and Tobago, and what I observe growing up in this country is we are not sympathetic to the poor.
You feel so?
We have a culture where we just chase everything that poor. We don't like stray dog. We don't like vagrant. We don't like dog. It's like anything that not spick and spam and clean, we just chastise it immediately.
Well said, man.
And we don't like it. You understand? That is why even in the Trinidad industry, I know in the beginning, because they've been bashing the Trinidad industry before one artist gets shoot. They've been bashing it because we have a problem we have a classism problem in Trinidad, and we need to come out of that. Jamaicans does hold on to the own, everybody does hold on to the own. When you come on radio stations back in the days, you had to talk in this proper accent. Jamaicans just go on the radio stations and talk like Jamaicans. Yeah, man, you don't know it's Bob Marley, you don't know it's Buju Banton. And people love that.
Yes,
but let KG come on the radio station and say, yeah, boy, dread, boy, and talk like a we does talk. Trinidad does not mean Trinidad. We grew up in a place where we just say that car real bad, that shoes real bad. That is our language. That is how we just do. You know,
that's good.
Correct. That is our lingo.
That is the lingo.
You know. So it's like people just wanna criticize who we are. Trinidad is not the place of just the steel pan and the limbo. We are also a place with bare corruption. We are also a place with a lot of crime. We are also a place where the government allowing guns to come in the country rampantly. That is who we are. The youths and them have no gun factory here. You understand? Who bringing in the gun? Who doing it? Who bringing in the guns? Who giving the youths the guns? Where the youths them getting the money to buy the guns? Ask yourself them question. Trinidad is not no Maracas Bay, eat a bacon shack. No, Trinidad is a place where a lot of people suffering. The government on failure. So people thieving, people robbing, people doing what they have to do.
To survive.
Come on. This is Trinidad. I don't know if all you... I know where I live in. Anywhere I go, I just watch my back. Because I know where I live in. I'm not being naive to where I live in. Let me stop trying to pretend like, come on, let me lend a hand, let me stop chastising the youths and them, and let me try to help the poor, let me try to help the people, let me go down to the streets. Governments, we don't see all here. MPs, we don't see all here. All these big artists and them all over the place, and we don't see all here, we don't see nobody. You know who did I see? KG. I coming in the communities with my camera, helping them, shooting videos for them, trying to get them out of here, get visas, fly out. That is the goal, that is the dream.
Are you familiar with the young lady by the name of Delicia Patterson?
Of course, big up Die Media. Die Media?
Die Media.
Yeah, of course, big up Die Media, big up Die Media. Yeah, she and all is an advocate for the thing.
And what I love about Delicia is that she didn't understand it in the beginning, and when she actually started to manage some of the artists,
Jalano, she see
under her belt, she got to realize that these youths, they just need a little guidance.
Correct, they're misguided, they have no guidance, zero guidance.
Talented.
Of course, and that's why the people like the music.
KG's a talented individual.
That is why.
You behind the camera, you're in front of the camera, you're producing
self-taught.
music. You're producing music, you're writing music, you're singing music.
Self-taught. Never went to school to learn any of these things.
This is what I am bewildered with. I mean, I would have created in my lifetime about four successful television shows in this country, spanning as far back as 2011 to present. I even co-wrote and collaborated on a movie called Corrupted Cop.
Right, corrupt copy.
Yeah,
I know that.
I was one of the good police. I acted in that
Yeah,
movie as a
right.
good police. I didn't like the movie too much when I saw the finish because there's one set of cost.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the
yeah.
actors die now.
Right.
But I remember when I was collaborating on that movie with Squeezy back in the day and
Right.
Tom back then.
Yeah.
You know, we were writing the script for that movie. I remember, look at the talent of these men now.
Yeah.
I watching Don Tom sit down now.
Mm-hmm.
Now Don Tom went and do his thing, he make his little jail come out.
Big
And,
up Don Tom.
Big up Don, wherever he stand right now. He's somewhere in Aruka. Big up Don. I'm a brethren. And Don is a talented man.
Yeah, of course.
Why
And
did
never,
he 60
and
TT,
right.
CNC3 can't pull
He's
him
a
up?
OG. He out a long time.
That is a OG.
Right? And he also had to do everything from the ground up.
From the ground
So
up.
he could produce 10 movies a year. People just go and ignore that. The people in the higher places just go and ignore that. So Don Tom never really get the opportunities that he was supposed to get. You understand? So all they want to do the same thing to men like me. All they want to do the same thing to the youths and them who coming up.
Yeah.
Nobody give us the opportunity to fly out of this crime-filled country so we could go somewhere else and we could be safe and we could be away from bad mind people. Because if there's one thing about poor people don't like to see the same man who was poor with them get rich. So when you see some of these Trinidad artists get recognition and get fame and get money and men have to shoot behind them, don't feel it's because they're on crime.
No, well, let me put you, well, I like that point.
Correct.
But here's the thing. In the ghetto, so to speak, among the youths, there is a eat a food mentality, one.
Right.
And there is a nobody don't give me nothing. Now,
Right.
I remember coming home in our area, I used to dwell, and on the block, passing, we see fellas, you know, I wasn't big on the media as yet.
Yeah.
And fellas used to be, boy, where's he seen, boy, pilot, but nobody don't give me nothing. But, and I remember stopping at there and ask, nobody don't give me nothing. I said, what they owe you?
Yeah.
I had to ask the youth. I said, who owing you, boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dan, you be passed, you don't give nobody nothing. I said, but do I owe you something? Did I borrow your money?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand.
Entitlement.
Why you feel
You know?
you entitled to my piece of
yeah,
my
yeah.
salary that I went
Yeah.
and work 8 hours
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
or
yeah.
6 hours, however long. I went and worked. I am
Yeah.
working here.
Yeah.
3 hours a day, or whatever time I have to put in a Guardian Media, if I have to go on a location to do a broadcast,
Yeah.
whatever I have to do. Because I have 2 sons,
Yeah.
I have a family to
You
look after.
sacrificing, yeah.
So when I come home now and you hating me, boy, nobody don't give nobody nothing.
Yeah.
Do we owe you, KG?
No.
That's my point. So I like the fact that you say these people are talented.
Mm-hmm.
I look at your resume and what is in your purview, and I say to myself, we watching CNC3.
Right.
We could create movies back in the day like
Come
what
on.
Calabash Ali used to
Come
do.
on.
No boundaries.
We doing that, you know?
That's my
Let me
point.
tell you something again, right? I just been watching, no disrespect to no organization in Trinidad, no media outlet in Trinidad and Tobago, right? But it's just the truth. I just sit down sometimes and look at certain programs on the TV and local TV, and I tell you the truth. I know a set of youths, and I put myself in that category, that we could create certain things that if CNC3, TV6, wherever, all these local stations, if they just give us a little opportunity, the things that we could do,
And produce.
you swear is America. I just want to be blunt. You swear is America. We, the youths, is the future. The youths are the info. The youths know what really going on. Give them a chance. That is what Trinidad lacking, you know, even in politics and everything.
I hear you.
Old people want to stay there forever and hold on the thing and chastise the youths. The youths and them still going to do the thing, you know. The youths and them still going and rebel against Solia and do the thing, you know. But you know what would make it better? If we give them support and we guide them.
I hear you. Hello, good afternoon.
Davey,
Good afternoon.
I want to commend you for what you just said. Go to the head of the broadcasting class. What you just said there, that when you wasn't so big and your past and the guys on the block was sitting on the block, well, maybe they're doing what they do, that is their business. But I'm glad, you know, it brings music to my ears what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, when I say that on all ethnicity here, so don't feel people will call back after and say that I bashed certain ethnicity. I say all, right? Right. So that is their attitude, Daddy. They sit down on the block and smoke their marijuana. You could do that if they want. We can do that. That's their business. Let them spend themselves bad. That's their business. their life to live. How they want to live it is up to them, right? But they have no, how to put it, boy, they have no ambition to go out there really to look for a job. And when they do go to a job, to look for a job, the attitude they go with is something that we desire.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. All right, thanks. But it falls in line with what KG said earlier. Some of these people do not have to write a resume. They don't have to speak to somebody in authority or in a position, and they need to be edified. Yes, they would have gone to school, but people, or they don't believe that the school is the be-all and end-all for person's education in this country, in this world. When you come home, if you don't have parents who can tell you, who can help you, guide you through certain things, you would be none the wiser.
Correct. Your parents just sending you to school.
Yeah, and the teacher had to do everything in school. But KG made a very, very salient point. If we can help them know how to write a resume, you know, to apply for a supermarket job. I remember, KG, going for a job in a supermarket, my very first job. I was about 15 or 16. I put on a shirt and a tie. And I remember the guy said, he told my parents, I am the only person and the first person you ever see come to pack bag in a supermarket and wear a tie.
Let me tell you something to what you say there. When I was now building my studio, I was about 21, 22, and I was trying to get a loan.
You still look the same, huh? I just want to tell you.
I'm 33 right now.
Well, oh God, you look not a day past 25.
Right? So I was about 22 and I was trying to get a loan from Nedco to build my studio. And I just went in Nedco and I put on a shirt and a tie, right? And I went in Nedco and I didn't even know what I was going into, but I knew my mother and them teach me when you're going to do certain things, you have to dress appropriately.
Look the part.
Right? And I went into Nedco with nothing. I was 21, 22, I didn't have nothing on my name, nothing. And just by the way I present myself, that woman, I know that today, she gave me that loan. And I sent about 10 brethren to Nedco after that. All of them go on regular, jersey, pants, 7K. None of them can get no loan. Them have everything, certificate for this, that thing on the name, still can't get a loan. Because my mother just teach me a certain way, you know, and I take that, and that carry me so far in life. Now, these youths don't even have that.
That is the thing.
So I already ahead of them in the race.
That is the thing.
Come on.
So, and you are reading proof of that. The teachers in school didn't teach you to put on a shirt.
No.
The teachers in school didn't teach you when you sit on
my parents.
Your parents.
My parents.
And it goes back to home.
If you have no parents, just think about how your life may turn out now. You know, a lot of these youth have parents, but come like they still don't have no parents. And then the parents never had parents either. So it's just a cycle of, you know, and then men breeding these girls and them and all even being fathers and, you know, it's just a cycle of bad parenting.
KG, let's talk a little bit about Trinidad music.
Yeah, man.
One of the things that we blame. Some years ago, there were one of the stations in this country was bringing in Lil Wayne.
Right.
At that time, deceased radio presenter Gladiator was alive, and he made a big stink about it because there was an upsurgent crime under the steerage of Patrick Manning back then, and they banned Lil Wayne from coming. He didn't get a work permit.
Really?
But they say his music and the youths.
Right. This was when?
This was back in 2008.
Serious?
2008.
First time I heard this.
There's a real story.
Yeah.
I was working at another station back then on the morning show, and we were bringing in Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
75,000 US.
2008. That was Carter 3. That was the days. A milli.
A milli.
Yeah,
right.
Oh,
so
good.
That was the days, right?
Yeah.
So, and he couldn't come in. Didn't get a work permit.
Right.
I am asking you, do you think, honestly, talk from your heart,
Yeah.
if Trinidad music today
Right.
is part and parcel of the contributing factors that leads to these youths wanting to act out these violent crimes?
I mean, if I had to be extremely real, we could blame Trinidad. It's easy to say Trinidad is the reason, but I sure when you was growing up, it had influences that could have influenced you same way.
Yes.
So even if we take away Trinidad, it's not like the place is going to get better. And that is my argument where people like, stop blaming the music. It's so much deeper than just the music. If somebody could be influenced by a song to pick up a gun, he could be influenced by friends, he could be influenced by a movie he watched, he could be influenced by anything. It means that he is easily influenced. We all indulge in worldly things at some time.
Go to the front of the class, boy. If
Come on.
music on a whole is a major influence in the world.
It gives you a feeling. It gives you.
I'm not going to tell you that.
So people are shy to act like if music could really make you act out, right? And yes, it probably have a statistic of people where they might act out on certain types of music. Yes, okay, cool. But they are the same people who will act out for all different things. So I don't want to stray from the topic, but I'm one of them people that don't really believe in racism, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when I say I don't believe in racism, I don't really mean I don't believe in racism. But what I believe in, if you black and I white, and you don't like me because I black, most likely you probably don't even like your own self. Most likely you probably don't even like animals. Most likely you probably have no respect for your fellow man. So it's not really just about you not liking me because my skin black. You probably have a problem within yourself now. You know? So I just look at the thing when it comes to the whole Trinidad and comes to everything, like when people saying it influence. And that's what, like, if you could make a song influence you, most likely anything could influence you.
But we can't negate the fact the statistics have shown when music puts people in a frame of mind.
Yes, a frame of mind.
Right. So with that mindset,
but can it really make you? I believe, honestly,
Dan, you ever go in a club and you hear certain tunes play off there, you looking for
all right. But here this carnival time, I just see the most set of fight. I just see the most set of stabbings. And a soca playing, not a Trinibad song playing.
Good point.
You understand? So what? Marshall making you feel to beat up a man, right?
Yeah.
Well, ban Marshall.
All right, good point. Go to the. I'll take a call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good conversation. I think one thing I must commend you on the station for. We must have these conversations. I agree it might be somewhat uncomfortable for some people, but we need to have these conversations. My question to your brother there, he's talking about the government and these people and the authorities, etc., etc. But that is in a direct contrast to what we hear from the government. I mean, every constituency, Mr. Davey, have a constituency office. Some of them have more than one. They have sub-offices. Every local government councillor have offices in their various districts. You have community centers. We have Foster Commons boasting every day about how many programs the state have for youth and this and that, and so many programs, and they give incentives and they give stipends for training, etc., etc. We are white and they talk about opening back the youth camp, and I mean, I find it a little bit difficult to say that they are not opportunities. I find it a little bit difficult because I mean they have schools, we have trade school, we have you have self-employment, of course, you have entrepreneurship, okay, nothing wrong with that. You see, Mr. Daly, you cannot solve a problem with another problem. If we agree that there is a problem, we need to have opportunities, we need to have socialization, and we need to have assistance, counseling, etc., etc. Yes, we need those things, but you cannot use this situation by creating another problem to solve a problem, because all you'll be doing is adding one more problem to this problem. And you talk about music, for example. Isn't it that culture was born out of the same struggles and the plight and the cries of the slavery or whatever in those days, in those colonial days, to express the voices of the people, their sufferings, and put it in song. It was a form of protest, etc. And people held on to that before we had mass media and radio and all these things. People would go to the calypso tent wherever, and they found solace and comfort when these calypso would sing their tunes, expressing and highlighting the problems and the issues of the community that they were there. So to say that music is a worldwide. Anyway, how you research and check it, music has a very, very big influence on everybody, young people, old people, everybody. And to the same music, I agree. Of course, there are other influential factors. It's not the only factor. But as I said before, Mr. Davey, if we want to fix these social issues, and want to fix these, if you call it the poor communities, the depressed communities, start with on the premise of this. There are many problems here, but the solution cannot be adding one more problem to the list of problems. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, caller. I mean, KG, we sit on here and we saying that, music not doing it.
Yeah.
But before, I still have a few minutes with you. Let me just give you guys your health tip courtesy. LSA Healthcare is coming up at the top. Hello, good afternoon. All right, call me back. Now, KG, we're chatting with Trinidad artist KG, who is a Trinidad artist himself, a producer, songwriter, and videographer as well. He's a man behind the cameras, in front of the cameras, at the side of the camera. He'll lend you a camera if you want a camera. Somebody says, good afternoon, beautiful conversation. So because you are seeing trouble, you are saying it's okay for a certain set of people, because of their hardship, right, they can go around causing problems for other people.
Never. Never. And if that is what people get out of everything I say, so be it. All I'm saying is be understanding, be sympathetic, like have a little bit of sympathy for the poor. That's all I will say. I said a lot today. So if I say all that and somebody could still ask that question, so be it. But we know where we stand.
Somebody says, good afternoon. Once more, Davey, when I hear some songs, it brings tears to my eyes. It brings back memories. What happened in life, So what this, and the next caller is saying, Davey, music is a great influencer. Despite how we may feel at times, music can influence anybody to do anything. It gives you a feeling and a sense of strength depending on who you are. And I like that part, depending on who you are, because if you're weak in your mind, as you mentioned earlier, music will drive you to do things. I mean, you're right. We can't ban Marshall, but you see the biggest fights in Carnival. In Borode, you go see stabbing up a man fighting, and it's the music can't be blamed for that. At that point in time.
Let me ask you something, right? You as an elder in the industry and whatnot. This is what my grandparents kind of not told me, but this is how it looked to me growing up, observing my grandparents and my parents, right? So in my grandparents' days, it had calypso music. Right. So people would go out there in the nice dress, and go and sit down, and listen to music. Good, nice, slow, dancey music.
Right.
No rush thing, nobody ripping down tanty dress. Everything was nice and easy. And then the Marshall era come in, and the Super Blue era and them thing come in, and it turned into the fete. Right? So people start to mash up the place. I want to see a hand in the air. Thing. And Marshall say, jump on the big truck. Right? And your grandmother and them was kind of skeptical on the fete culture because it was a little more rough. Girls was joking and thing, and it was a little more, give me the word, a little more
gyrating and
right. So the elders now would have talked about that and say, bump to them and just fetting by and trampling and da. And then that changed now, and the youths and them don't want to fet no more, they want to zest. You understand? So they might listen to a little action music, they might talk about this, talk about that, they might big up where they're from, they might dance differently. To me, 10 years from now, it is going to evolve into something else.
Wow.
And me now going and be saying, what have you done them singing? And that is how it's going to be forever and ever. Amen.
Good afternoon.
I like it to do experiments and so on. So I took a bad CD with 2 big bucks to the Chamorro forest. And I turned it hard. And all the monkeys around, they ignored it. So I don't know what they were telling you. Okay, thanks.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know, but I don't know. Roll, I don't know. I don't know where you just come up with them kind of thing. But coming back to the Trinidad music, I mean, I like what you said. The art form has given artists such as Prince Wani and others the opportunity to jump on an aeroplane and leave this country.
Yeah, and that is the goal.
They were able to go out there and collab with other artists. You understand? Other big ones. Now, Marshall Montano don't put his name next to nothing that don't make sense.
Right.
Marshall didn't play that. Marshall's name can be washed down, so to speak. So when you see Marshall partnering with certain artists, when you have Destra partnering with certain artists, it says that Trinidad music is going in the right direction.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about the aspects of the lyrical content that where the rival factions come out of. Now, you have been working along with both sides. You've seen it. is it really a warfare with these artists? Because there was a time, maybe a year and something ago, if you're living in a community belonging to a particular number, and you play an artist that is associated with the other number, you can't play the music. It happened. I am a car wash a day. And men pull and say, hey, tell a man take off that song. Take off that music. I wasn't playing it, but I in the car was saying, no, we didn't take my car clean. And the next car was blazing it now. And I get to realize that, oh, they're serious? They say, boy, ABG don't want that.
Right.
They don't want that. You can't play them people music here.
That's a real thing. But
then why?
It does happen because the gang war is real, right? The gang war is real, and some of the songs are directed to the other communities because the gang war is real, and music is self-expression, right? So some of these youths, not all the youths that singing about the 7 and the 6 and the 8 and the 9, they are from these communities. Now me, I from Arima. Where I from, it I know 6, I know 7, I know 8, it I know 9. So when I do my music, I'm singing about my life. And I could only sing about my life, and other artists could only sing about their life and their experiences. Some of these youths in the Trinidad industry are from these communities that have this gang warfare. So when they go into the studio, again, back to what we were saying earlier, this is all they know. When they wake up in the morning, it have a big 6 on your wall outside. Your brother is a 6. Your father is a 6. Everybody is a 6. So they just expressing themselves through their music. But not all the music in the Trinidad industry is about gangs.
I have a song here called Loyalty.
Yeah.
Coming off of... Can I play that? Is that a clean version there?
My song?
Yes.
You want a song to play?
I would like a song.
Alright. If I have to choose a song for you to play on this station, I would play Empire. Yeah.
Alright, so I would look for that. Alright, and I would... So this is a song with Nebula.
Nebula 868.
So I could feature it.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want to play something from the man. We can't have the man in the studio. And we don't have... We in tell all here. They only got a chance to witness and
understand the vibe.
Bask in the man talent.
Yeah.
So you're hearing him speaking all afternoon. This is KG, Empire, featuring Nebula 868. Take a listen.
Nebula. A reality thing, this Empire. See if you get to youth. You know one day now. Say bang bang. Jano, them see me fall but I like that. Cause man never fly like a pilot. Them try take me style, them I try that. But bad people fi fly back. If I don't push for my goals, I won't make it. So me stick to my dreams and I replace it. Cause nothing I get it and I waste it. But this year we gonna take it. This year if we get a youth boss. If you make it is a must. Say money by the pounds and the euro and the us. If you make it is a must. Every get a youth and we see a light now. If you know you a survivor now. Every get a youth and we see a light now. If you know you a survivor now. So we tell them talk, them a liar. Really get a youth work hard, go wire. When them a hate, we a build empire. Me a talk, really me a blaze my fire. So we tell them talk, them a liar.
I think Chappie cussing that verse. I think Chappie cussing that verse.
You can't stop my shine. You can't pause my grind. No way. I don't pray about
right there.
Alright, so we go pull it right here.
And they can play back from there.
We can't afford to go forward because we didn't get a chance to really vet it properly. You know what I mean? I had a different way in the conversation, but I like the opening. This is KG. You want to listen to that? That is a Trinidad artist. And it's part of Trinidad music. Correct. But it's positivity.
Correct. And the people don't really support positivity. And that is just the reality of what's going on in the Trinidad industry too. You know, most of the times you had to sing something, and not just the violent music, but even in the soca industry, it has so many good soca songs, so many good calypsos. But every year we just gravitate towards the ones that more worldly, you know. know.
You know, this guy Terry Seals with Echo
Yeah,
Your Words. I spoke
right.
with Terry Seals a few months ago, and when I listen to Terry Seals' music,
Yeah.
he have beautiful music out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know, and yet still we still running down the Marshalls,
Correct,
the
correct,
Bungees. You know,
correct.
we're not particular clique.
Correct. If all you want artists to do the right thing, if all you want artists to sing more positive music, all you need to follow these artists, support these artists, subscribe to these artists. Don't just rock back and say, we want more positive music, because being an artist is a job, you know. I am spending thousands of dollars to do this thing. I'm not just saying, no, home and music just come in. I am investing into this thing. So why should I invest all my money into something and then all you're not even going to listen to it? So artists run into the negative music because people supporting that, and that's just the reality.
You know, I want to thank you very much, KG,
Yeah, man.
for coming to the studios of
Yeah, yeah,
Freedom.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want you
yeah.
to be a stranger.
No.
I'm looking at your talent. Somebody now said, David, does Trinidad know how these people have and what they have? No, listen, I'm in these WhatsApp. Oh, I read these things, boy. Davey, does Trinidad know how these people have what they have? Women getting up 5 in the morning, getting to the cane field, the lagoon, and toiling there. But where your family just sitting and not even finding a way to send you to school or for a trade, but you all watching what people have. I guess what they're saying is that their person's toiling. Now, we 10 minutes to go and we wrap the interview because I have to go to the poetry farmer coming up next. One of the things I want to say, KG, is thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, man. Blessings all the time.
Taking that hour and something to really talk to us and share your knowledge.
Yeah, man.
This is a man that produces the so-called Trinidad music.
Yeah. I'm not just Trinidad music, but I am just someone that help youths. You know, I help a lot of youths. A lot of youths come to me. Youths who sing all different types of music. It's just Trinidad was the formula that worked. You know, that was the formula that Boss Sway and everybody know. But people who know KG, I work with all different artists. I work with soca artists, I work with reggae artists, I work with hip hop. It don't matter. Once a youth trying and a youth really want to do this thing, they could contact me. I have an open door. And I just want to help the youths and see them do better, you know?
Listen, you ain't going to be a stranger. You know? I feel within a 4-week period, we're going to have
Yeah,
KG
that's
back
it,
with
my
us.
man. That's it,
We're
my
going to be
man.
talking to KG again.
Yeah.
We're going to revisit some of these conversations.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure he's going to come with a wealth of information.
Sure.
Davey, he needs to go and see Mr. Amar. Yeah.
Now, big up Amar, you know? I just do my little homework, you know? And Robert Amar, right? Yeah. Come on.
I mean, I worked with Robert for many years. That's a good one as well. And the thing about it is, we have talent right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Why is it that we have to wait until outside recognize us before home can appreciate us?
Come on.
And the talent is right here.
Come
That is
on.
what KG has been
Come
speaking
on.
on for the last hour and 20-something
Come on.
minutes.
Because the same negative music that people talking about and bashing and all these things, I bet you, if a Trinidad artist win a Grammy or make it worldwide and become a legend, or they would have nothing negative to say, or they would be proud that this come from Trinidad. Let us look at our artists and our art form and our entertainment, just like how we look at the Americans. We just watch all the action movie, all the John Wick, we just listen to all the Tupac, we all kind of thing.
No, there's the John Wick.
We just listen all the thing, we just
John,
watch all the thing, we just play the Call of Duty, we just play the Grand Theft. Let me support the Trinidad industry, get them that strength so we could fly out of here and we could do better for ourselves.
Thank you very much, KG,
Yes,
for passing through, man. And that's the wrap here for